Hello, welcome to our first webinar. My name is Oliver Friedman. I'm the CTO and co-founder of Ziggeo, and I will cover the basics of Ziggeo today in this webinar. So in case you don't know what Ziggeo is and you just joined, Ziggeo is an API for video recording and playback, and it allows you to embed a video recorder into your site and or app. Your users can record themselves there, and you receive all the videos, and you can embed them using our video player anywhere you like on your website, for instance. So as a first step to use Ziggeo, you need to create an account, and that basically requires your email address. And once you put that in, you come to the dashboard. I already did that for the purpose of this demo. It looks like this. And you need to make sure to confirm your email address after you've signed up. Otherwise, the system will not work. Okay, so in our basic screencast, we will create a website, include a video recorder into that website, include a video player into that website, and try to display a list of recorded videos. So as a first step, we'll create a very, very basic website. So I open an editor and I put in some code here. It's really a very, very basic website. And I included jQuery here as well. You don't have to use jQuery. It will just make our demo a little easier. That's why I included it here, but you could do it without jQuery as well. Whenever you build something with Ziggeo and you particularly want to test it on your local computer, like I am here, make sure to serve up the page using a web server. So don't just open the HTML file. And I started a very simple web server here to make this work. So you can use, for instance, this line here using the PHP command to fire up a very basic web server, but you can also use, let's say, Apache or a Node.js server or whatever you prefer. But once you do that, you can go in your browser. And I go to localhost 8080. And yeah, there it is. And it says foobar. This is this foobar here. Okay, so let's go back to the Ziggeo dashboard. The Ziggeo dashboard shows you a list of applications that you have. And an application is more or less a fancy name for a folder of videos. And one application, the default application, is automatically created when you create a new account. So let's click on that. And here it shows us 3 different keys that identify your application uniquely. And we will first particularly use the application token, which is unique for your application. So if you create an account, this will be a completely different application token. And we need to put that in our website so our system knows that it is your account. So we have a link here that goes to the documentation. And once we go there, it shows us we can copy and paste this particular code into our website to make Ziggeo work. And it's already pre-filled if you're signed in with your application token. So I'll copy this, put that in the website's header, save it. And if I now refresh the page, nothing should really happen. It's just loading the Ziggeo software in the background. Okay, so as a first test, we want to include a video recorder. So I go back to my website and start coding something up here. And you can include a recorder by using the Ziggeo recorder tag, for instance. For those of you who are familiar with Ziggeo, I'm using the version 2 JavaScript SDK here for the purpose of this demo, but obviously this would work with version 1 too. And I'm adding some attributes here to make it look nicely. And there's a ton of different attributes that you can add to our embeddings, but I'll pick a particular theme and a particular size here. So width and height, and you can also make that responsive if you like, but I don't want this particular one to fill up the whole page here, so I fix the size. Now if I refresh it here, I'll get a record and an upload video button. So why don't we do a first test recording? Let's see if this works. Hey, this is me. So let's do first test recording. Hey, this is Oliver doing the first test recording for this webinar. Stop, I can pick a cover shot. You can also deactivate taking cover shots if you don't like it. But this is the default configuration. And once the video is processed, which basically means that we transcode it to different formats and resolutions to make it play back well on a whole slew of different devices, we get the video here and we can watch it. Hey, this is Oliver doing the first test recording for this webinar. Not sure you can hear that while I go to meeting. But anyways, so that was the recording, and we could redo it here if you want to. But I'm now going back to the dashboard and click on the Videos tab. And that should give me the video that I just recorded. It says here, ready, and this is the unique token of that video that identifies that video uniquely. You can see it here, but we could also play it back here in the dashboard. And from here, you have a ton of different options that you can do with that video. For instance, you can download it here if you want to and use it somewhere else, or you can upload it to YouTube or upload it to Vimeo or push it to one of our push services. These are all the actions and more that you can take from your dashboard. But what we want to do now is embed that video, that particular video, again on the website we just created. So what I do is I'll copy the token of that particular video and go back to my editor where we still have the recorder and put it in here. Let's write video here. Let me refresh this page. So now we see, okay, we have the recorder here as before, and here's the video that we want to put in. So let's go back here, and in order to create a video player, we can use a very similar tag as for the video recorder. So we copy this, paste it here, and I'll change recorder to player. The other attributes here are still fine. We can keep the same theme and also width and height. Now we just need to put in the name of that video. So we say Ziggeo video equals well, the token that we've just copied. So that should be it. Save it and refresh the page. And here's the video. So this is how you include a video recorder and a video player for a particular video. Now, for more dynamic applications, we probably want to include multiple videos more or less automatically. So copy and pasting the token of a particular video might not be the ideal option. So as a next step, what we want to do is to create like a little wall here that shows all videos that have been recorded. As a first step for that, we kind of want to know, once we do a recording here, when that recording is done and what is the token of the recorded video. And for that, we will use JavaScript events. So let's get rid of this video for now. So I comment it out, and I will write some code now here. And since we're using version 2, I'm basically getting the version 2 application, which is associated with the token that we specified up here. And I'm waiting for the whole application to be ready. This is similar to DOM ready on jQuery or something like that, which says the application is ready to be used. Now, the next step in here is that we want to find in the whole website this recorder here, so we can attach an event to this recorder and know when the video has been successfully recorded. So in order to do that, I will give this recorder an ID, call it recorder. So I can use something like jQuery, for instance, to find that recorder element. So let's do this. And like I said before, you don't have to use jQuery, obviously. So this is the recorder web element, basically, on the page. And now we want to get the associated Ziggeo recorder. So we can do that like this. You can find that in the documentation as well. So you basically say recorder find by element. The element that you provide here is either a DOM element or whatever jQuery returned any will do. So this will give us the instance of the recorder associated with that particular HTML element, and then we can register events. So we're interested in the verified event here, which will tell us the video was recorded, uploaded, and everything is looking good. Then we know, okay, this is a video that we want to use. And as event handler, we first just want to see, just test that everything is working. So let's get the token of the recorded video with an alert. Let's say recorder get video. And this should contain the token of the recorded video. Okay, so let's refresh. Let me just quickly see the JS console to make sure that I didn't make any mistakes. Okay, that looks pretty good so far. All right, let's do another test recording. You can, by the way, also remove this countdown, but for the purpose here. So this is the second test recording to test the event handler. This one is a beautiful cover shot. So this is verifying, and once it's been verified, we should receive an event if I didn't make any mistake. There it is, an alert, and this is the token, the recorded video. Just to verify, it starts with FDFC. So if we go here and refresh, oh, it's probably still transcoding, so let's do all. There is FDFC. So this is the token of the video that we just recorded. So this is nice. As a next step, we want to dynamically include a particular recording as a video player on that website. So similar to the code that I wrote here by hand before, we want to do this now more automatically. So let's comment out this alert part and instead use jQuery, and we attach something to the body of the website. And we can really use just HTML code here. So I really just copy the player code, put it in here. The only difference, obviously, is that I don't want to use this particular token, but the token of the video that has just been recorded. So I do that more dynamically here. Okay, and similar to the alert, we put in recorder get video here. Looks like a typo. Okay, let's see. It looks pretty good. Let's give it a try. So if this works, there should be, after we recorded a video and the verification is done, there should be a player appearing next to the recorder. So let's see whether that happens. Okay, so hey, this is the third test recording. Hopefully a player will appear next to the recorder. All right. Let's see. So verifying, yeah, that's good. The player realizes that the video is still processing, so it's kind of saying the same thing. But these are really two different embeddings. So the top embedding here is the recorder, and it also has the redo button here. And this is the player, looking very similar because it's the same theme. But yeah, so our event worked well. As a next step, we want to include all videos that we have recorded so far. So if you want to create like a wall for a community where people can record new videos, we can kind of make them appear like we just did, but we also want to see all the videos that already have been recorded. So just to check, we have now 3 videos. So basically what we want to do, once we refresh the page, we want all these videos to appear here automatically. So we need to do some coding again. So let's do that here. And there's a method that you can use that will give you the list of videos, and then we can use jQuery again to include all of them. And this is also a version 2 app command. Then we have a resource, the videos resource, which contains all methods related to videos in some sense. And the index method will give you a list of all the videos. And accepts a bunch of different parameters. For instance, if you want to limit the amount of videos that you get or skip particular ones or filter them by tags, you could put that here in this JSON document. But for the purpose of this demo, we'll just leave it as is. And this is an asynchronous method. So you have to provide a callback function once the list of videos is present. And this videos here will just be an array of videos, including all like these huge JSON documents that you can see on the dashboard with all the information about particular videos. So what we do once we receive that array of videos, we iterate over it. So we just do for each single video. And for each video, we mostly do the same thing as here in the event handler of the recorder. So we put that in here. But now obviously it's not recorder get video, but video dot token. Now let's see what happens. I hope this was saved. Okay, let's go back. Refresh. I already know what happens. Nothing. That was on purpose. So if you now look at the JavaScript console, our system says unauthorized. And that's what it's supposed to say. The idea behind that is if you have a website and people see your application token, which is kind of somewhere in the source code of your website, and you have a private website, let's say, you don't want your users to use that command themselves to see all the videos that have been recorded. So we disable the index command by default. But for something like that, in particular for public websites, it's fine to use that method. So we'll go back to the dashboard and enable this particular method. This is under Manage. And there are a bunch of different tabs here, but this is under Authorization Settings. And there's this particular option here. Client is allowed to perform the index operation. So we'll say yes, that's fine. So if we refresh now, it lists all the videos that we already recorded. So now this works. So far, so good. Let's go back to our source code. I will not go into too many details here, but considering these attributes that you can attach to the recorder and the player, we probably have around 50 of those, and you can look them up in our documentation. I just want to mention the most important ones that might be interesting for your own implementations. So one particularly interesting parameter is Ziggeo key that allows you to, so you saw that every video gets this unique token, and we kind of generate that token, but you can also provide your own name for the video. So you could say equals foobar. And now once we record that video, we will give it the name foobar, and you could fire up a player again using that particular key. But obviously this key needs to be unique. So if you already recorded, say, one foobar video, and you want to record a new one, you can't name it foobar again. This has to be unique. And then you can impose time limits on video recordings. So that would be, for instance, Ziggeo time limit equals 15, let's say, would allow your Ziggeo recorder to stop the recording after 15 seconds. Then also quite interesting, you saw on our recorder here that there's like a record video button and an upload video button. And in some cases, you might only want to allow uploading or only allow recording. So you can, for instance, control this with the attributes allow recorder and allow uploader if you want to, let's say, disable one of them. What's also interesting is if you want to filter videos, for instance, in this index command that we did here to get a list of videos, you might want to give them certain tags and then filter by those tags. So if you can specify the tags on your dashboard if you want to do that, and people use it for moderation. But you can also programmatically specify tags, and that's really simple. Could be Ziggeo tags, and you could say foo, bar, and this would associate the tags foo and bar with the particular video. For more custom applications, we have custom data that you can associate with a recording. So that would be Ziggeo custom data. And you can associate a whole JSON document here if you like. And we save that with the video, and when you pull it up again, it concludes all the data that you added to the video. It could be, for instance, if you want to make this a form that people submit, we could save the name and the email address of the people, of the person submitting the video. And then when we show the wall here, for instance, like here, we could read that custom data from the video object here and display the name again, if you want to do that. And there are many more attributes, and we will cover them in an upcoming webinar, just to give you an idea. Now, what we did here was all front-end work. So there was like HTML elements, and it was a little bit of JavaScript. But particularly for things, let's say, for deleting videos automatically, or getting a list of videos if you don't want to do this here on the front end, we have so-called server-side SDKs. So if you have your own server application and you want to programmatically access Ziggeo using server-side, you would use our server-side SDKs. And I'll give you a quick overview of how that works with a very simple application. So I'll open a separate tab here, and for the purpose of this demo, I'll use Node.js, but we have server SDKs for a variety of languages. So for instance, for PHP, Ruby, Python, Java, C#, and something I'm forgetting, Java. But let's use Node.js here. So I use npm to install the package that we need for this. So it's Ziggeo package, and I'll create a very simple test JavaScript file here. Let's call it test. Let's open it here. And if we want to use the server-side SDK, we obviously need to include it. So we use require. This gives us access to the Ziggeo Node SDK. And then we need to init it with our credentials. And here, we again need to use our application token. I just copy and paste that from our website. But since you can do much more with the server-side SDK and more dangerous things like deleting videos, the application token itself is not good enough because you want to keep that to yourself. So we'll go back to our dashboard, manage application, overview. And if you remember from before, we only used the application token, but there are also other keys here. And for this particular purpose, we need the private key. And you should never include the private key in anything that your users could find or see. This should really be only on your server side. Okay, so I copy that and put it in here. Now this gives me access to my application using a server, and I'll do something very similar as in my HTML file. I will just get a list of all the videos to show you one of the methods here. So we use Ziggeo SDK, and the namespace is videos, and the method again is called index, and we have similar query attributes that we can use to filter the reply. Then we can provide callbacks both for success and error, but we hope that this will be successful here, so we only specify success. videos, and yeah, this will be very similar. So it'll give us an array of video objects. So we iterate over that and get every single video, and then we just do a console log to see whether we get the right data. Now if I go here and run this test JavaScript file, yeah, it gives me a whole slew of things, all the videos basically, with all the metadata that we associate with it. Don't want to go into the details, but yeah, that's pretty much what it is. And with our server-side SDKs, you can do all RESTful operations that you would like to do on videos. So that particularly means getting a list of videos, deleting videos, uploading videos from your server, and also downloading videos from our servers. So if you, for instance, want to copy a whole folder of videos to our servers, you could easily do that, or conversely, download all videos that are on our system to a directory on your computer. Now, another thing that might be interesting for you in this webinar is that we also provide direct URLs to the videos. So if you say, I don't like your video player, or if you say there's another API that needs a URL to your videos to do whatever you want to do with it, you can get these URLs. I just want to show you where you can find them. So if you click on any of your videos and scroll pretty much to the end, you see here at the bottom embed image URL and embed video URL. So you can get these URLs from every particular JSON document. But if you need to generate them programmatically for whatever purpose, you probably get the picture. These URLs are reasonably easy. They include some stuff from us, and then your application token here, and then your video token here. Or if you gave the video a particular name with that key parameter I mentioned, then you could also use the key here. And that's how you get access to both the image and the video. The images here will be present as PNGs, and the videos that you get through these URLs will be MP4s. And there are also ways, if you transcode them to different resolutions and so on, to get the particular resolution versions. But that will be more advanced. I'm not going to that now. Yeah, then I just wanted to mention for your applications, which might be interesting. So I showed you the JavaScript events here, and we have many more events that might be interesting for you. But sometimes you also want your servers to be notified directly and not the client side, really. So for that purpose, you can use webhooks, and you can configure them in the manage part of our dashboard. There's a whole webhooks section where you can put in your own server, and you can pipe in particular events or all events, whatever you like. So that might be interesting. And then I also wanted to mention that we have different types of push services if you want to automate the process of getting videos that are recorded or uploaded somewhere. So you don't have to program that yourself if you don't want to. We already support a bunch of different services like FTP, AWS S3, Dropbox, Google Drive, Box, and so on. So you can automate that directly here. Yeah, and I think this is all I wanted to cover in this first webinar. Now, if you have any questions related to what I presented, I would invite you to put that on the chat. So I'll try to answer them. And we'll probably have the next webinar in 2 weeks or so from now, where we cover more advanced features of this. And we'll also try to make the recording of this webinar available to everybody. So if I was too quick in some parts, you will be able to look it up again. Thank you for joining. You want students to upload video questions. Yes, you can do that. What do you mean by can I control this? Oh, you want, okay, I see. You want to limit, you want to control which videos can be accessed by which students. Yes, you can do that. It depends a little bit on the architecture of your own system. But a very easy way, just using our systems, that's just an example, would be using the tags. So you could use tags for the different groups of people that are supposed to see particular videos. And then if you want to display the videos that only should be shown for, let's say, group number one, you could do a very similar call to what I did here. But here in this index method, you would say tags group one, for instance. And then this would only get all the videos that you have tagged group one. And for, let's say, group two, you could say tags group two. Yes, we have, so all the API functions and methods are documented in our documentation. So if you go, I was here in a particular part of the documentation. So I'm here on SDKs, and we separate out the server-side stuff that I covered a bit, and the JavaScript part that I covered a bit under JavaScript SDK and server-side SDKs. And you get all the methods, parameters, events, and so on, as well as for the server-side SDKs. And then we also have a section on if you want to create native applications, a section on iOS and Objective-C, iOS and Swift, Android and Cordova and PhoneGap, if you like that. And we also have for like the most common stuff that people like to do, which is pretty much what I covered here in this webinar. We also have an FAQ section where most of the code snippets I think that I covered today should be present. So probably 90% of what you're looking for is in the FAQs, actually. And then we also have a really excellent support team at support@ziggeo.com. They're all really good engineers. So if you have any specific questions, please send them an email, and I'm sure they answer them well. And if they don't, let me know. All right, so thank you guys for joining. I think that's it for today, and I'll make sure to follow up with the next one. So watch out for that. Have a great rest of the week.